creeping. I want to make sure the mic volume is good.
Hello, hello.
Oh, our chickens.
Can't forget the chickens.
Oh, I can't even see us. That's great. Can you see me?
I can.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hey, welcome to episode 49 of Signal Boost. Woo! It's our Reno, Northern Nevada art and culture show where we just interview cool people about the things that they're doing out here in the high desert. I'm Jessie Sprocket, the communications director here at the Generator.
I'm Alicia Dynamic, and I'm the education director here at the Generator.
And I'm Kayla, or Luna Soul of Sacred Flows.
Nice. We like to just start off with a little like, what's everybody up to? How you been doing? What's new with you? What's new with me is I've been like in my garden every day trying to prep for the summertime because it's finally, there's like this much snow left on Peavine. So I'm risking it slightly, but I'm really hopeful that it's just going to be warm now, and I put all my babies in, and I'm excited for a new grow season. So
It's going to be in the 90s this weekend, so maybe the snow's going to melt.
dude, I really hope so.
What's new with me is I ought to be in my garden, but I am building a robot, and I am teaching myself how to make generative art. So that's the big thing that I've been working on recently, besides work.
Yeah, and we both went to Biggest Little Fur Con.
True, we did. We went to Biggest Little Fur Con last weekend. It was very fun.
So it was a good time. And then Alicia drove all the way to Wells, Nevada.
I did. My friend's car broke down on the other side of the state, so I went and got them. We took them an alternator, and we helped them fix their car, and we drove back. So it's been a real adventure. It's only Wednesday, and it feels like it's been a very long week.
Yeah, it does feel like it should be Friday. Oh, and Elliot, my daughter, graduated kindergarten, which was amazing.
It was very cute.
Yes, it was so cute. Well, what's new with you, Kayla?
Well, I have been working on a couple new projects. I spearhead and help with an event called Sacred Flows, and we're kind of creating a couple fun different things for the summer and then coming up throughout the fall and the winter time. Right now we're kind of doing a monthly event here at the Generator, so kind of ramping up and getting our community together for flow arts. But also I'm kind of just getting ready for a good summer of events, getting ready for a lot of performing and
Nice.
just building stuff and getting stuff out there for people to enjoy.
Awesome.
Can you tell us what flow arts is for the people out there who might not know about flow arts?
Yeah. So flow arts to me is it's a way of self-expression through dance, dancing with different props. Some people like to dance with hula hoops or poi or rope darts or fans. There's a lot of different stuff that you can express yourself through. So to me, it's kind of losing yourself in the movement, not thinking about anything that's going on around you, and just letting your body and everything else go. It's beautiful.
Heck yeah. The last one you guys did when the power went out, Elliot was like, oh, is this a powers out party? She was so into it, and then she played with like every single flow toy and loved it so much. It was like right up her alley.
She's an up and coming hooper. I can see it in her.
Yeah, she goes to dance and gymnastics, so it's like, yeah, it's right on her level.
I feel like if you've already done dance, then you kind of already have a foot in the door. Personally, I didn't really have experience with dance like when I first started, but it really like made me feel comfortable with experimenting and trying new things, looking like an idiot for a while, and then just having a lot of fun until it just comes out real natural. Yeah.
Yeah, now you do hoops professionally, right?
Yeah. So I'm a multi-prop performance artist. So I like to spin fire, but I also like to play with LEDs and stuff. So my main prop, I would say, is mostly my hula hoop, but I also do love to do like poi and staff, a lot of different stuff. I like to play with all the fun toys.
Mm-hmm. How did you get into it? Like, how long ago did you start? Was hoop your first prop that you worked with, your first apparatus?
So actually, I first started with poi. I think I started when I was in high school, and I was kind of forced to start dancing through a dance class in high school for PE. And I was not a very comfortable dancer. I'm pretty awkward when I didn't. So it was a fun and different time to experiment with new things. I had a friend that had a pair, and she was really sweet and just gifted me her old pair of poi because she saw I was really getting passionate about it, and she really paved the way for me to find this curiosity for this. And ever since that, I just couldn't stop. I had a lot of friends that were kind of dabbling into it too, so I just saw how much we all inspired each other, and it definitely helped me find different avenues to express myself through dance.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
And now you have your whole troupe, right, that you perform with all the time?
Yeah, so originally I started me and one of my dear friends, Sophia Sunshine, we started the Circles of Life Hoop Troupe, I think in about 2016, 2015, something like that. But it was a group of about 5-6 girls, and we would do coordinated hula hoop dancing together. So we would create routines that would include all 5 of us or just 3 of us, and also do individual showcases and stuff as well. We've performed for events like the Reno Art Sculpture Festival, all the way up to like the Burning Man Little Conclaves and local events and nonprofits and stuff.
Yeah, that's how we met. I forget what event you first performed at. I don't even know.
I think it was one of our Jenkytown golf.
Oh yeah,
The golfing.
Yes.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's a really fun event.
and now you've done Sunshine's done workshops at the Generator a bunch, and now you're doing this whole Sacred Flows thing.
Mhm.
So that's just like a drop in, and anybody can come and play with any of these apparatus and just see how they feel.
Yeah, so members or even non-members, you can just come in, and if you don't have a prop, that's okay. You can come and just borrow one. I have a lot of stuff that you can play with, so you can find something that might fit you better, or if there's something that you haven't had access to that you would like to try, then it's a good way to kind of get a feel for something before you spend a whole bunch of money on it.
Yeah, after your last one, I was like, I'm gonna bring my hoops in, and then the kids can use the hoops, or anybody can use them. So that was cool.
And that was one of my favorite things about this place is that it's more of an all ages place. We've done this kind of thing in clubs, but I really love that we can interact with our whole community, which includes the little ones and the teenagers and all the above. I think a lot of people could find a great release and a great sense of just joy through hooping or dancing, whatever, with their friends and family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for people who haven't done it, I really feel like having that prop to dance with, it really does give you something to take the focus away from your own body, which I think helps for those of us who feel awkward or self-conscious when you're dancing.
Yeah,
because I'm certainly one of those people.
I would say that hooping definitely gave me a sense of bodily autonomy that I didn't really have beforehand. Really helped me with my personal self-confidence and just really finding myself in different ways that I feel comfortable carrying myself. It was really great for me in that way, and I'd love to share that with anybody.
Nice. When's the next Sacred Flow?
So we actually, I think, are going to be taking a short break for July because I know everybody's got a lot of fun stuff going on as far as festivals and camping. Wedding season is back ever since COVID. So I've been hearing everybody's calls. I think I'm going to be doing the next one in August.
Ooh, then it's burn season. But that'll be really fun.
Oh, yeah. I get everybody ready for their pre-conclave.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think you're going to continue to do it every month after August?
I believe so. As it gets a lot colder, that's when we really need some spaces to go inside, and you can't always have ceiling marks at your house. So here at the Generator, there's almost no ceilings. It's incredible. Lots of space to have fun.
You have to really be getting after it to hit the ceiling here.
Yeah.
That's be a challenge.
Yeah, that's a contest we'll have at some point.
Who can throw the highest? What other things do you have coming up, like your personal performances and stuff?
Well, I have a couple personal performances. I have a Still Dream coming up. I'm actually going to be doing more technical stuff, be doing some visuals for the main stage, so I'm really excited for that. I'll be working with Liquid Dimensions. We do a lot of production and visuals for different stage designs and stuff, so really excited for that. I also have been kind of working on clothing and making my own slit weave designs for like bodysuits and dabbling in a little bit of jewelry and stuff. So kind of doing that and spending a lot of time with my family.
Nice.
I've been really, really excited to get to have that time together this year. I feel like ever since COVID, it's been really important to me to find and integrate that time. So trying to bring them and make them hula hoop and do all the crazy stuff with me.
Yes. Love that.
So you have a lot of things that are creative that you're doing.
Oh yeah, I try and find all the different ways to express myself. I think we as humans are blessed with incredible variety in our brain, and the things that we can create and share with each other are just really beautiful.
Yeah.
So when you say you're going to be doing visuals, do you mean like projection mapping? Like what kind of work are you doing for that?
So yeah, we do make our own kind of 3D animations, and we do projection mapping for stages. We'll be doing a couple sets on Sunday, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I'm excited for Saw's workshop. That's tomorrow. She's doing a laser cutting workshop. I'm actually wanting to start dabbling in that so I can make a 3D art installation for some events and stuff as well. So
Yeah, that would be
Nice.
a good
Make some
skill
acrylic
set to add
things.
to that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then
I know
once
I
we get
can
the
make things.
CNC router, then you can really start making some
Oh,
giant stage stuff.
Exactly.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
Just decorating art and space in all the ways that I can.
That's awesome.
Yes. Same. Heard
Mhm.
same. So what is some advice you would tell somebody who's like new into flow arts?
I feel like a lot of the time we feel like there's not a large community around us, but there's so many resources and so many people who are into it. There's definitely so many resources online, but the more you try and reach out and connect with people in your community, the more that you can foster that kind of growth in your actual community. So that's one thing that really inspired me and my friends that created Sacred Flows. Shout out to Shaggy and Riley. They're a little far, so I'm trying to keep the flame lit, keep it going. But I would say that there's always people out there that are interested in even learning or trying something new. And if you don't feel like you have that community around you, be the person to create that.
It's great advice for most things, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all of my favorite things that I've ever done are just things that I wish existed and like didn't exist in the world, and then I was like, I guess I'll just do it because no one else is doing it, you know?
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's hard, but you got to be the person that brings it out. And
Yeah.
then if you build it, they will come. Like this place.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like you're really good at just reaching out to people and being like, we're here and we, you know, you want to do something. Like I feel like that's how you ended up getting connected with the generator. You were just like, we have a hoop troop, like what's that?
Yeah. I feel like you've got to put yourself out there in this world. I mean, especially in the art community, there's so many people who are so creative and have great ideas, and I think that's one thing that we kind of, as artists, we kind of play ourselves small, but it's not what we need to do. You are huge, you have beautiful ideas, and you just need to go and share them with people, share them with anybody and everybody who's willing to listen.
Yes. What about from the perspective of kind of being a female entrepreneur? Like, do you have any specific things more about, you know, like, because I think sometimes it can be tough too as a female leader, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like it can have its own challenges for sure. Personally, I try not to marginalize myself, but I do see it in like different communities. I feel like for the flow arts community and here at the generator, like we have a really beautiful environment that's really supportive. So I feel like I personally haven't felt that much. Like as far as like being held back or anything like that. I've been really fortunate to have a lot of supportive and beautiful people around me. So I try and count those blessings and thank those people all the time when I have them around. But I would say that there are some challenges. There can be people who have like a certain idea of how they want you to be or act or how you add value to whatever they're doing. But really you gotta always remember why you started it and what your goal is, and I try and remind myself that all the time.
Yeah, it's like stay true Stay
Yeah.
true to yourself, and then everything else will just follow.
Everybody has a piece to the puzzle, and they'll fall into place as long as you're in alignment with what you truly value.
Yeah, I feel that. Can you just tell me a little bit more about your jewelry and clothing? Because I want to know, does it have Egyptian inspired stuff? You have like so much Egyptian stuff. I'm like,
I do.
It's gonna happen.
I've been super inspired by it. It's still like in big baby phases, but I've been really inspired by like the cut up bodysuits that are kind of tied and braided and stuff. I actually went to an event not too long ago, probably a week ago, and had a lot of people coming up to me about my outfit that I made, and so it's kind of just one of those things that birthed out of so many people asking me where I got it. I was like, man, I guess I just should start making these things or something. So and I'm in the process of ordering some fun mannequins and stuff. I gotta just check here if you guys have some full body mannequins. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you can take the creepy one that's in front of our office.
Yes, I love creepy. Helps me create.
Yes.
But yes,
I
so
want
excited.
a fun bodysuit.
Oh yeah, we could do some live cutting sometime. That would be cool.
Live cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you said I didn't realize, as soon as you said it, I knew exactly what you meant, but I hadn't heard the term slit weave before.
Yes, that's a term
Did you
that
do
I've
your
got from
shorts?
other people. A friend actually did this, and
'Cause
she
that's
showed
what
me
it
how to
is,
do that.
right?
Yeah, and so I was like, this is actually a little bit easier than I thought, and I can create some really fun designs, and I really enjoyed the bodysuit since it was a really large amount of fabric. I could really get intricate with my designs, so that's what I'm really excited for. And jewelry, I've kind of dabbled in for a long time. I've like loved candy and stuff, but
Classic.
yeah, kind of reigniting that flame that I had for jewelry and finding my own flavor. I feel like it can be a really saturated market, but I feel like I'm finding my own style a lot more.
And it's also about like, if you just enjoy creating it, right? It's such a fine line between like just having fun and making your art, and then being like, I need to monetize my hobby. But if you can figure out a way to just not fall into the trap of whatever, then maybe it'll be okay.
Right.
I don't know if that's very clear
Freelance
advice,
artistry.
but yeah.
Do what you love for the rest of your life until it's really hard.
Yeah, what they say, find what you love and then let it kill you.
Yeah.
Too
I'm here for
accurate.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people making jewelry, but also like people who buy jewelry, it's not like you ever are done.
Right.
That's so true.
You're never like,
It's like
this
you're
is
like,
my
"Well, I have
last
enough
pair of
earrings
earrings. Yeah.
No,
Never
I-
buy another
I
pair.
lose that shit constantly. I need to
Yeah.
re-up all the time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Always losing it, breaking it. So, if you find a unique style, it's all your own,
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Well, what are you making then? Because you said you used to be making candy. Is it still in that
Yeah.
style that you're working on?
More, I guess I would say I love a lot of like natural stones and beads, so I've been working with that, but also like different mediums, like different like wood or metal and stuff. I've experimented a little bit with different, of course, bracelets, but I've been messing with earrings and stuff and really loving that because I've been really enjoying all the earrings I've been getting lately. It kind of inspired me to just go at it and do something different, reignite that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, jewelry is really fun. I was into that for a while, and then just, it comes and goes, right? Like
It
what
really
you use
does.
to express yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If people wanted to book your hoop troupe, how could they do it? Are you guys still available for bookings?
Yeah. So we're accepting bookings as individuals, pairs, or our entire group. We're pretty flexible depending on people's needs. If you're ever trying to find us or get in contact with us, you can find us across all social media platforms at Circles of Life Hoop Troupe. Or you can always personally message me. I wouldn't mind creating any of those connections for you at Kayla Luna Soul or the Luna Soul on Instagram. But yeah, we are accepting bookings, and I definitely do lots of multi-prop stuff and sometimes mess around with the other groups around. I shout out to the awesome Tahoe Fire dancers and Serendipitous Circus. They do great things in our community too. So I would love to connect everybody with more opportunity.
Nice. Serendipitous Circus. I don't even know about that.
Oh, you will now.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah. And LED stuff and fire stuff too. So
Yeah.
nighttime things, daytime things,
Mhm.
nighttime fire things.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I love to do events that are club scene, child shows and stuff. Love to clown around and experiment and have fun with all different people.
Awesome. And people can keep an eye out for the next Sacred Flows event, which will be in August.
Yes. Keep an eye out. I know we have some live music that we're doing. We're going to be having potentially some workshops, kind of supporting some of the local flow artists in our community that want to teach and share what they love. And just a whole bunch of different local vendors that make awesome jewelry or awesome resin art. We have a lady who does incredible desserts and some beverages that are non-alcoholic and really delicious. So try and support all the different fun stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. I want that. And then you were there last time doing your wand. What's your wand? What's that called?
It's called a levy wand, or some people call it like a flow wand, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's cool. I feel like it's been good for us to just have a flow arts thing in the space because we're doing flow arts like 11 years ago. And then, then you get away from it and I'm like, oh yeah, I did like that a lot.
Sometimes you just need this other person or somebody in your community to remind you and be like, hey, let's try something different, or hey, let's try this again. Reignite. I'm all for reigniting flames.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a time when we were going to lots of festivals and we didn't have children, so
Mm-hmm.
a little bit different.
Well, now you can tire out the children, getting them dancing.
Yeah.
It's the perfect plan.
Yes. Yeah, and they love dancing. They're so into it, so it's great. Yeah.
I'll be happy to see her next time. She's really awesome, fun to be around.
Thanks. Yeah, so bring out all ages, come to the next Sacred Flow, which will be Sacred Flows. Yes, which will be in August. And follow them on Instagram so you can get alerted to the new things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for taking the time.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to make it happen.
Mhm.
High five. It took a while.
Oh, yeah.
But we did it.
Well, I'll see you guys next time. Huh?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you at the next Sacred Flows. Now we gotta see if our next person is here.
Doesn't seem to be yet, so.
We can go into
Too early
Instagram
Instagram
roundup.
roundup,
Yeah. Yeehaw. I miss Micah. Where's Micah? Everyone's busy. Alex is doing some art car stuff, so I'm back at this over here, just creeping.
Back on the computer.
Bam. Instagram roundup. Baby goat.
Baby goat yoga.
Bye. New classes at Ferrari Farms. Baby goat yoga. Look how cute.
Where
I love
is
this.
Ferrari Farms?
Ferrari Farms is actually really close to here. It's in Sparks.
Cool.
It's kind of over by Mill Street.
Oh, cool. I didn't know there was a farm over there.
Oh, look, perfect. You're here. You can come sit down if you want. I'm just doing Instagram roundup.
Where would you like me?
Right here.
Cool.
Okay, so this other thing, hot dogs and highballs. I literally don't know anything about this. I just loved the marketing so much.
Yes, it is
It's
fantastic.
so great. And it's at Public House next week. And then Uncle Buddy's Reno, the food truck's
Yes.
gonna be there for this party, and this is like the special menu. And I'm just like, this is an adorable little thing. So I guess we should
Yeah.
all go.
Probably so. Oh, pictures of poems.
Yeah, Dale Slingland, who we love, and Rachel Myers, who I don't know, but I guess is a poet, which is always amazing, collaborated together. So she wrote these poems, and then Dale illustrated them. And that show
It's
is,
really cool.
yeah, it opens tomorrow at the Depot. And
Just such a great little gallery if you haven't been there, over in Sparks in Victorian Square area.
yeah, you really should go.
The
It's,
historic district there.
yeah, it's in the old train depot.
Mm-hmm.
Free yoga class tomorrow at Riverside Farmers
'Cause
Market.
now the farmers markets are on Thursday.
Mhm.
Saturday market is over. It's Thursday night now.
Goodbye, Saturday markets. Every Thursday, 4 to 8 is the new lineup, and then at 5:30 they have yoga, so that's really dope. And McKinley is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I am like, that sounds really nice. Like zenning out thinking about free yoga tomorrow at McKinley.
Mm-hmm.
But also tomorrow is TriLab, which is
Oh yeah.
the annual street party. It benefits Holland, Reno Bike Project, and K-Wink. And it's always a super fun time. It's from 4 to 9 with live music and merch and raffles and good food trucks. And you should go.
Yeah.
Family friendly. Right now, it's bike night. It's always bike
Ooh,
night.
It's right now.
It's at the marina, 11 miles, mostly flat. Make sure to put lights on your bike. Leave right now. Go. Ride
Just
a
go.
bike. There's a few things that are happening like right now. I was hesitant about putting this up here because it's really good camping spots, and I'm like, now everyone's gonna know where to camp, but I don't want to like rob other people of the camping joy. So growing up Reno Tahoe, they just put a really cool campgrounds of the month thing up, and you can just like see all their favorite campgrounds, and they just look so beautiful. Look how cute. So that's a nice camping resource. Poetry Slam also happening right now at Shim's,
Mm-hmm.
and we're always spotlighting that. And I guess it's Vegas versus Reno right now, which is
Wow.
probably pretty fucking lit.
Probably.
If you like that stuff, head on over there. Like,
Yeah, this show.
yeah, this show's at the
Looks
North
really
Valleys
cool.
Library.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really want to go over there. It's just all printmakers from Reno, and it's at the library. So go on over there and check it out. It's all June and July.
And you could go to Carmelita's Crazy Cravings while you're there and get a crazy milkshake. It's in the same little shopping center, or all kinds of really delicious snacks. That place is great. This is our neighborhood, so.
Yeah, and 395, Route 395.
Yeah, the beer.
Yeah,
Spot.
there's a really cool like bar over there with all local brew.
Like a bottle shop type bar.
Yeah, and also it's the end of Food and Drink Week right now.
Oh.
Oh, now the Sparks one is starting next week, but the Reno one is finishing today. And if you don't even know what I'm talking about, you should go follow Reno Food Week, and they have all these different specials at different places, and then you can follow the Sparks and find all of their specials. And it's just all about going to all different kinds of spots you might not even know about in Reno Sparks and eating really delicious discounted meals.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's Instagram Roundup. But now our next person is here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch back over. Awkwardly shuffle backwards.
We are missing our helper today. Usually does our computer
Oh,
for
no
us.
worries.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's like you magically appeared while I was doing the roundup.
That's how it works, huh?
Yeah.
Synchronicity.
Yeah. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Leviticus McDonald. You can call me Levi if that's too much.
How even is that your name? Okay, continue.
It is indeed. I'm a Reno native, born and raised. I've been here 28 years. I absolutely love the place. And the reason I'm here is because I'm here on behalf of, I want to be an advocate for the Wim Hof method, essentially.
Cool.
Don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Only vaguely.
Only vaguely.
I listened
Understand
to
it
a
has to
podcast
do
about
with
it one
cold
time.
water.
Yes,
Like it's a
yes.
body, mind.
Yes.
Or being in the snow.
Yes, close. So it's predicated on
Lots of temperature
mindset or
reasons.
commitment, breath work, and cold exposure. So it's a triangle of magic, basically.
Cool.
He's not the first person to do it. There have been crazy yogis
Sure.
and martial artists, from the Far East doing it for a long time. But he's the first guy to bring it to Western science. And a couple of years ago, I had a really powerful experience with it, and I started studying it deeper and deeper. And in January, I hot-footed it, or cold-footed it rather, over to Poland, and finished out the pattern and bathed in the cold water and climbed the mountain without my shirt and my shoes and that whole 9 yards. And it's extremely powerful, and I got my instructor certification. I'm the only person in the northern Nevada, Tahoe area doing it right now. And I believe in it so strongly that I wanted to come on your show and advocate for it. It has high connotations for us being able to lift ourselves out of mental depression, which is something I think a lot of us in the world need at this point in time. And it also lowers inflammation in the body. and controls our autonomic nervous system, which prior to 2018 science did not believe was possible. So there's a lot of wide possibilities.
So tell us about this journey, because you kind of skimmed over it, but
Mhm.
so you said, how did you first get into it? How were you first introduced to this?
Yeah. So this was back in 2018 when I was a young, immature man in my 20s. I'm now an old, mature man in my late 20s as opposed to my early 20s.
That is how that works,
Very
though.
well.
Yeah.
I feel like you hit 25 and you start going, I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And so I had gone on this like deep quote unquote esoteric journey, and I got into the psychedelics, and I started reading like the Bhagavad Gita, and I was like, oh, we're in the fourth dimension, everybody needs to open their minds, etc., etc.
Like
And
you do.
yeah, of course. And I had a mishap one night, and I realized that the path I was going down was still materialism, because I was depending on something outside of myself to give myself an inside experience. And ultimately, that's a doomed path. It's not going to work. And so, it's again one of those synchronicity things. I was just lying there, and the Wim Hof documentary came on, and it was like I perceived this whistle, and I just lay on the couch, and I started doing the breath work, and it was like something awoke inside of me. And in January that same year, I went down to the Truckee River and dumped myself in, and it was like a shock of healing electricity. And I kept practicing, and I kept practicing, and I learned more. And the deeper I got into my practice of the method, my environment and my life around me started to melt away and change. And people came in, and people left, and everything transformed, and it affected me very deeply. So I decided to go to Poland this year, and met all sorts of people from all over the world, and everybody else had their own crazy life-changing stories, and changed me, transformed me as a human, and I've brought it back from my hometown.
So, when you say the documentary came on, like, it just was like popped up.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your
you got
feed,
like
or,
YouTube
Netflix
playing
or YouTube or something?
randomly, like it just plays whatever video comes on,
And
then
it just popped
it just
up.
popped up.
And you were like, huh,
Yeah,
This
it
looks cool.
hit me. Something
Wow.
something perked me up. Yeah,
that is synchronicity, isn't it?
yeah, for sure.
So in Poland,
Yeah.
you said you climbed a mountain
Oh yeah,
without your shoes and without your shirt.
oh yeah,
See, so that's a traditional
yeah.
facet of this?
Yeah, definitely. Cold exposure is is part of it, and so everybody out there being perspective instructors, we just kind of hung outside for most of the time and did our cold bathing, and it's like running water, and we had to take an axe and chip the ice off of the water where we were getting into our exposure, and but I mean it's like
Alicia is so cold just every moment of her life.
yeah.
So this is like a lot.
I should probably
Yeah.
do this, because then I could.
And this you can totally start with a cold shower. I'm not gonna take you guys and pluck you and put you in
Straight
the
to
ice
Poland.
waters of Poland. Yeah.
Let's go.
No, cold showers are a great place to start. But through this method, he proved under lab study. So in 2014 in Radboud University in the Netherlands, he had already gone out and done all these world records and hiked Mount Everest without a shirt and spent 2 hours in the ice without his body temperature changing. And they said, "Congratulations, you're a freak of nature." And he said, "No, I think like what I'm doing is using my mind to change my immune system reaction." And they're like, "Well, that's not possible." So they hook him up to some sensors. They inject him with an inert flu virus, which is essentially harmless, but you get all the reactions. You puke, you vomit, you get fever for a few hours until it stays up. So they inject him with it, and he's sitting on his bed, and he does his breathing exercises, and he focuses, and he has no immune system reaction whatsoever. He's able to completely shut his inflammation down. And they said, "Oh, that's amazing, Wim. Congratulations again. You're a freak of nature." He said, "No, I can train anybody to do this." They said, "Awesome. How long? A year? 6 months?" He said, "No, 10 days." And it ended up changing to 4 days. And they took 12 healthy volunteers. He trained them for 4 days in the ice with the breathing method. 100% success rate. So as of that moment, we have full control over our own nervous systems and our immune response.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. So it's really accessible for people to change their own biochemistry and not give in to the very stressful pressures of the current world. And I want people to know that through breathing in cold water, everything is manageable.
I have so many questions.
Lay 'em on me.
Well, just like, do you think it's because the cortisol, like when you get stressed, then your cortisol levels get all crazy, and then you get inflamed, and like that's all connected to this, right?
Yeah. So we're beginning to understand that most Western diseases, the root cause of the diseases is because of inflammation, which is your body's natural response to stress. When stress is introduced to you, that can be emotional stress traumatic experiences, actual physical disease, etc., etc., your body's going to respond to that by inflaming itself, and that's a normal response. But what happens in our modern day, and especially with everything going on now, is we get the constant chronic stress, and our bodies can never escape the mode of acidity. So it's constant inflammation, and that's how we get sick. So the best analogy I can use is the cold and the breath are like Drano, and your body is like a clogged pipe system in a house. So we take an acute stressor and expose you to it for a controlled amount of time willfully, and it essentially raises your baseline to be able to deal with stress once you're done doing it.
So you have
So
to
the cold is like a practice.
Yeah, what's more stressful than getting in ice water?
Yeah, it's super.
It's shocking and intense, and then as soon as you become centered and you can willfully focus on that, and you reach a state of calm in such a high stress environment, then you get out and everything's cooking cookies.
So you gotta do the cold part though. You can't just do the breath work.
Well, the breath work by itself. So they're doing another study right now. The breath work by itself, very, very, very good. The cold by itself, very, very, very good. Combining them, exponentially good.
Dang, I just don't like being cold though.
I would recommend starting with breath work and then trying like 20-30 seconds on a cold shower, and then kind of easing into it over a couple weeks for sure. And the breath work by itself, I've been running a couple classes around town, and the breath work by itself, you know, you can have people cry and they scream and they laugh and they come out of it, and it's beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Yeah, it seems really vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. That's cool though. What's is the breath work similar to like when you do the yoga breathing and it's like super belly breathing? Like, what style of breath work?
Yeah, so he's you can, depending on people's, there's like holotropic breathing that Stanislav Grof did. There's Tuma meditation, which is probably closest related to the Wim Hof method from the mountains of Tibet. So what happens is you do these deep breathing exercises, and then you couple that with the cold, and the cold essentially teaches you how to breathe deeper, and then you go back and forth. But when we're doing the breathing exercises, you do these deep breaths, and your body thinks it's under stress because you're doing the deep breaths, and it actually responds by shooting insanely high amounts of adrenaline, like higher than somebody who's bungee jumping for the first time while you're lying on the floor.
And that's like also okay for your body?
Oh, in short doses, very, very, very good as an acute stressor. So you go through that, the adrenaline levels skyrocket, carbon dioxide gets flushed from your blood, and then we hold our breath on the retention, so with no air in the lungs, you're holding your breath. And since there's no carbon dioxide in your brainstem, that trigger that tells your reptilian mind that you need to breathe gets delayed or shut off. And so first round we do 30 seconds, second round a minute. And every single person I've had in an hour class, I can get holding their breath with no air in their lungs for 2+ minutes, no problem.
That's a long time.
And when you're in that high stress state consciously, you go past your conditioning, past the conscious mind, into the mammalian and the reptilian brain, and into the limbic system, where all of those deep traumas and stresses are held, or whatever they're from. But you come out of it just feeling fantastic, and your blood makeup is different, and your inflammation's lowered, and your biochemistry's changed, and it's wonderful. It's magic.
Okay. Do you ever have people that like have a lot of trauma, and then when they do this practice, it's like really hard for them?
Some people have, and it kind of depends on the reactions of people. Some people can sit through it cool as a cucumber, but they still have the deep experience. A lot of people bust out laughing. Some tears come. I myself, when I was getting really into it, when I was up in Poland, I was really guarded, and I went up there, and there's like all these other like macho Danish personal trainer dudes there. And on the second day we were doing breath work, and I hit a wall, and something happened, and I cracked, and I just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, and all these enormous dudes came over and held me, and it was super wonderful. But there is
Yeah.
That was great, and there is a degree of openness to it that ends up happening. But I think that's also important because you get to extend and like have a community connection with whoever you're doing the work with, especially if it's local and people in your own town that you see.
So I know you just did one on like the 6th or something. You just had a workshop, right?
Yeah, up in Tahoe at Lake Tahoe Wellness on Kings Beach, we just had one.
Nice. Did you have people go in the lake?
No, we did. Lake wasn't quite cold enough for my taste, so we did a full tub of ice. It was a couple
I feel like
degrees too
Tahoe
warm.
is so cold.
It is so cold.
No, Tahoe wasn't cold enough.
Man. And then you have another one coming up on like the 25th or something?
The 25th at Temple Yoga, yes, on California Avenue.
Nice. And you're going to do cold water?
And so the cold is always optional. So the cold will be there, yeah. So I'll prep everybody, I'll run the science, we'll go through the breath work, we'll do a warm up and get everybody loosened up and talking to one another. And then if you want, the cold is an option.
How many people? What is the gender dynamic? Is it a lot of dudes? Is it pretty mixed?
No, it's a pretty up in Tahoe. It was a pretty well mixed group. I had a couple of dudes that signed up last minute, and they like left to go to a golf game, and they were just on an adrenaline high, doing one thing to the next. So I had a couple of those athletic guys. I had a couple of younger yoga girls that came in. I had a couple older people that were working with osteoporosis and some arthritic problems. It works wonders for that. So it's accessible
I bet
to
those
it.
are such
Yeah.
inflammation-driven conditions.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it works for I get a high range of people.
I was just wondering if it's like you were talking about all the Danish men, it's just like a bunch of dudes being like, I'm cool with it being so cold, I can do it,
So much.
or if it's
Yeah.
really mixed,
No, we had those guys. Again, we had old people. There was a guy up into his 70s that had come off of cancer and had refound his vitality through it. School teachers, moms, lawyers, everybody.
Nice.
Everybody.
Do most of them try out the cold water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in Poland, everybody had to do the cold water because we were, we
Yeah.
wanted to be
That was
teachers.
like, you don't go to Poland to do
No,
this.
yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
This is a little too cold, actually.
Flew all the way here, but I'm gonna wuss out.
Everybody in Poland was
Wasn't their
prepared.
first time trying it.
But it's empowering, and the body adapts so incredibly quick when you consciously, willfully expose yourself to it. And people get in. There's one guy up in Tahoe, and he had a little bit of rough time getting ice. And after that 20-30 second mark goes, and your body just adapts, and there's a sensation of warmth, and you can learn, like your sensation of warmth is like a neurological pattern that can be trained and developed. So after a couple weeks, you can turn it off and on.
I mean, it makes sense because when you're freezing to death, you get warm.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
We
like
do
your
it in
brain
small-
already
in
does
small
it.
spurts, yes.
So it is like
To
the normal
protect you
brain,
from the
right? When you
stress.
see people that die of,
Right.
freezing to death or exposure, like they usually strip down before they die,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
because they get so.
Yeah.
That's what your brain tells you that
Mm-hmm.
I think I
weird stuff that we do. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that why not like be able to summon that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it's something that has this like long history, right? Of like folks that knew that it worked, right?
Mhm.
These like, I don't know. I think a lot about these like ways of knowing from like historical, from the past, like that are pre-Western science,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then Western science, we go, oh, that's not
Yes.
real, and then
Yes.
eventually, then sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
oh, actually,
And I
it
think-
was, it
yeah.
is.
And
It's
there's-
the science.
There's like
Yeah.
the whole thing with like the schism of like the right brain and the left brain, and that being active in today's society of like how we handle things with like toxic masculinity and the whole Western pinpoint laser focus view on things versus more of an intuitive method.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we are living in a blessed period because those same intuitive sciences are now coming around and being studied and validated by science. And so they're coming out, in studies that say the biggest contributing factor to health and longevity is lung size of all things, and that's something we can train so easily.
Wow, I've never
Mhm.
heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder a lot
Lung
too.
size. So does this
Lung
trains your
capacity.
lung capacity, right? Because you're
Absolutely.
doing all this
Absolutely.
breath.
Absolutely, and this isn't, it's not like you're training for a marathon and we need weeks or months or years to get in shape. It only takes a week or two of consistent practice to really be feeling results from this.
But then you need to maintain it, yes.
Yeah, commitment's one of the pillars for sure. So it's more of a philosophy that I want to get people to understand and underlie their lives to.
So what is your like day to day as someone who has like gone through all this and now it's like a big part of your life?
Mm-hmm.
What is your like day to day, week to week practice in this look like outside of teaching?
Oh man, well it's just as I was, and like when I first did it, it wasn't like, oh, like everything has to change like right this second, right to that.
Sure.
Like I would still have like bad or unhealthy habits that I was going back to, but I was so conscious of that it worked with no come down or side effects, and I would start coming back to it more and more and more. And then even coming back from Poland, like I just did this, I just tore my ACL like last week. So this has been super stressful, and then trying to do everything else and lug a tub around with one arm and go up to Tahoe and back. But I have this to lean on, so I can wake up in the morning knowing I have to do, or not knowing, the terror of not knowing whatever's going to happen for the next day or week or month. But knowing I have the tools to just sit down for 30, 40 minutes, do my breath work, I feel power from the inside that I can project on my world, and it works.
Do you like have a daily breathwork practice that you do in the morning
Oh
or anything?
yeah. First thing in the morning. First thing when I open my eyes, I get the eye burgers out, and then we do 30, 40 breaths, and then you hold the exhale. That's one round. Then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. Sometimes it's 5, 6, 7 until you feel like you're ready to go. But
Do you only take cold showers?
Oh, and ice baths. No, not just cold showers. I love a hot shower. I just turn it cold at the end.
Yeah. How long do you let it go cold?
A couple minutes, like 3-4 minutes if I'm in the shower, and then that's all you need. And then so if I'm running a fundamentals workshop, I only let people go in the ice for 2 minutes, and then they come out.
Yeah, that worries me. Like I'd be worried I'd like hurt my body.
And that's why I had to go to Poland and learn everything. And I was actually just on the Facebook group the other day, and some guy was like, "Any tips? I got in the ice for 35 minutes and I got stage 2 hypothermia." And we're like, "Well, first of all, don't do that."
Oh my
But
god.
that's all you need. That's all you need is a couple
35
minutes, just to get your body's immune system reacting to the stress, and then you can get out.
But what about when you hiked a mountain? How long was that?
That was a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you
miles?
not getting
Miles, I'm not sure. So I also want to stress that like the time, even on the breath holds, we're starting to lean away from time. We kind of just use it as a marker. It's more about being conscious of what's going on in your body. While we were in Poland, we did a couple mile hikes. The air's not so bad once you know how to do it. The water conducts or takes away heat like 15, 20 times faster than the air. So the air's really not that bad. But when you go out in the mountains and you do the cold dip and then you get out, there's a lot of other things you have to concern yourself with.
What elevation?
Oh, in the mountains of Poland, not quite as high as Tahoe, maybe like 10, 11,000 feet.
Okay.
I think incline's higher. But it was very, very cold, anywhere from -8 to -18 Fahrenheit while I was over there.
No.
that's
No.
hard,
No.
baby. That's
But
chilly.
it took me a few years to build up to that, of course.
Sure.
But yeah, repetitive practice, and that doesn't have to be what is for everybody. I mean, if I could get 100 people to wake up and do their breath work and take a cold shower, that's successes upon successes for me.
Yeah, that seems fairly reasonable to me.
Yeah.
I think like that could work. Yeah. I don't think I could hike in a mountain.
No, it's not
without a shirt
necessary
or
for
shoes.
everybody.
Yeah, that sounds pretty terrible to me.
There's a period of time when I took cold showers because I read that it was good for your brain, and then I just couldn't keep it up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any of the mental.
No, the whole time you were like, I hate this. I hate this.
Yeah, it was just
I want this to be over.
Well, and the breath work is an important part leading up to that, because as you do the breath work, and it's like your blood, there's millions of tiny muscles in your blood vessels, and as we do the breath work, they start to flex and move all as the cardiovascular system all at once. And by the time we get out of that and these adrenaline and noradrenaline levels are skyrocketed, your pain tolerance also increases considerably.
Mm-hmm.
So the cold tolerance after doing the breath work is much, much easier than just doing it cold turkey.
That makes sense.
That sounds pretty cool. I kind of want to try it. I've always been told that I breathe like super shallow up here. That's like a trauma response breathing or whatever. And then I will notice if I go and do like an hour-long yoga class where I finally can start breathing better, at the end of it, it like is the best feeling in my life. So, but then, when do I get to go to yoga? So it's like, it doesn't get to happen that often. But maybe I can just lay in bed and do it.
Absolutely. And there's plenty of Wim Hof videos on the internet. There's a free app. You can click it and have Wim's voice guiding you through the whole thing, nice and gentle. So something I encourage both of you to go
Nice.
check out. Just 15, 20 minutes before bed, 20 minutes in the morning. See what it does after a couple days, and you might find it just knocks your socks off.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I meditate and do yoga every morning, so just
Excellent.
wake up another 15 minutes early, man.
Yeah.
Get it.
Fired it up.
I don't do anything, so.
Yeah,
anything
it's the
once.
only way.